Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got my Game Boy Advance collection here. I really like this collection. I've got some really interesting titles. I think some pretty good quality titles here for the system. And my experience with the Game Boy Advance goes back to basically when it came out. When I saw it, I really wanted to get one. But when I did, I really didn't put a lot of time into it. It seems kind of strange though. I do remember playing it a number of times, but I don't think I was sort of as deep into it as I was with the consoles and things like that. Handhelds have never totally been my thing. Now the great innovation here, and I've mentioned it before on this channel before, is with the Retron 5, you can play GBA games on the big screen, and that's really my way of preference for playing these games. A little while back, I don't know what it was, probably had to be like maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less than that. I actually gave away my Game Boy Advance because a friend of mine had younger kids and thought they would enjoy it, so I pretty much gave away my small little collection I had there. I kept a couple of things back, but for the most part I gave away that part of my collection. It was really before I was retro collecting kind of thing, and I guess at the time it wasn't really that retro. It was sort of at the end of its lifespan kind of thing, and I had fun with it, but it wasn't really something that I sunk my teeth into. I have to be honest about that. And now that I can do this on the Retron 5, I'm really a lot more interested in GBA games, and so I'm going to show you my collection right now. First one here is a bootleg game. So I think there's two bootlegs that I have in my collection. I do have actually a couple more, but I'm not going to include them. I just thought this was interesting because this is actually a multi-cart kind of scenario, and the other ones are just straight up bootlegs. I think I have like Final Fantasy Tactics and something like that, like bootleg versions, but I'm not going to show them because they don't really count toward the collection. But this one's called 8-in-1 Game Cassette, and it's Power Rangers Ninja Storm, and the cartridge looks like this. Interestingly enough, it kind of looks legit, but it's not at all. If you look at the lettering on the back, and that's a sure like telltale sign, the lettering on the back looks totally different than the normal Nintendo kind of thing. I don't know if you can see that there, but totally not legit when you really take a close look at it. And the reason really why I picked this one up was at the time I did not have Mario Kart Super Circuit on the GBA, and this one had Mario Kart Super Circuit on it, so I figured, I would pick this up, and since then I found Mario Kart Super Circuit a number of times, but still cool nonetheless, and someone has actually put it into one of these DS type of cases, so that's pretty cool right there to hold that. I was thinking probably in the future I will outsource a number of different ones to get them into these cases so I can put them on the shelf nicely, because right now the way I store my collection, my loose collection that is in these like card holder kind of things. I basically put like 2 games in each one. It works for its purpose and it keeps them nice and protected, but honestly it's not really something that displays very nicely, and if you try to put them into a binder, they just sort of sag a little bit because they get really heavy with all those cartridges in there. But that's sort of my long-term goal, I think, would probably be to print off the covers for a lot of these loose games. I don't necessarily need to complete them in box, although I do have some complete in box, or at least box copies of some of these games. So I'll get started with my box stuff first here. First one here is probably my most valuable, I think, GBA game, and that is Demi Kids for Game Boy Advance. This one here is the light version. It's an Atlas title. Again, this one is, I believe, part of the sort of Shin Megami Tensei kind of thing. That's that one there. I found that in a thrift shop and was just blown away to find this one. And it's in like pretty much immaculate shape. I mean, the top of it kind of sticks up a little bit. There's a little bit of digging on the corners or whatever, but otherwise in really good shape there. The next one here is Gauntlet Dark Legacy. A lot of my Game Boy games I haven't totally played yet. I haven't played this one yet, but I did check out some reviews of it and thought it looked pretty interesting enough to check out. And I do like the Gauntlet series, you know, the different versions of it, even the modern ones back to the retro, you know, arcade classic kind of stuff. So really cool right there. The next one is something that I just really had to get for my collection. Absolutely got this at, I believe it was the GTA Collectibles Expo, and I traded another vendor for this. I had this originally, this is why I really had to get this one, and it's Golden Sun on the Game Boy Advance. I got this one boxed and complete, really nice shape too. I came from a fellow collector, so I think that's the reason why there's a little bit of crushing here in the corner, but it's not too bad at all. I should probably outsource a little bit of protective case boxes or whatever for putting these in though, just because I do want to preserve that one for sure. This one here is the Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night. I have quite a few Spyro games, but this is one of the boxed ones that I have, so pretty cool right there. I'm a huge fan of Spyro, so really nice when I see Spyro games, I like to pick them up. And then this one here is NHL 2002, which I believe is a remake of like NHL 90, I want to say 4 or 6 or something like that, on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. And they basically just released this for, you know, 2002 on the Game Boy Advance. And I have huge reverence for the NHL series from back in the day, so you know, had to have this one in the collection. This one here is actually a copy that I bought, although I don't think I bought it brand new. I did buy this one from Electronics Boutique. You can even see like the sticker still on there and everything. This is my original copy of that. It's one of the things that I sort of held back and kept for my collection. Next one I'm going to show you here is kind of an oddity. I think it might be like a European release or something like that. I couldn't find a whole lot of information about this one. I remember that when I picked this one up, I found it in a thrift shop, and I thought, you know, I'd just give it a shot. It looks like it's a little kid game, so probably never really gonna play it, but I just thought it was so interesting that you know, I could find a box game kind of thing in this kind of shape in a thrift shop, so I decided to pick it up. It's called Naughty: A Day in Toyland. I don't know a whole lot about that one, but still cool nonetheless. I'm gonna have to check out what's going on with that one again. My mind's a little foggy on that one. It's been a while since I picked that one up. The next one here is Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy, which I picked up very recently at the Barry Game Exchange. So really cool right there, nice and boxed and complete. Always like to add the Spyro games in, like I was mentioning before. And then here's another one here, which is Spyro Season of Ice and Spyro 2 Season of Flame, the Super Pack. And I think I have Season of Ice and Season of Flame, so I'm probably going to be ditching those and just holding on to this one, because I do believe I also have a loose cart of this one, so it'll be easy access for playing and not really keeping it in the box necessarily. And then the last box game I have here is Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament 2004. Not really totally certain about this title necessarily. I'm not like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of guy, so never really played it, but you guys can tell me about this one if you know anything about it. So those are the box games I have in my collection. The next thing I wanted to show you here, oh actually no, there are a couple more box games I forgot to here. One is Herb Simmons in the City, although it looks like it's factory sealed. It's not really, it's been opened at the top. Don't know if I'm going to hold on to this, probably not too interesting to me, this title right here. And then also Sudoku Fever for the Game Boy Advance. Obviously, again, I keep mentioning that, but I don't really need to. Obviously, this is for Game Boy Advance. You know, Sudoku games, I kind of enjoy them, but I don't really know if I'll ever play it on the handheld kind of thing. There's a lot of other things I'd rather be playing, which are probably some of those other titles I already showed you. To now get into the loose games, here we go. So first one here is Altered Beast, which I played you know, in the arcade and stuff like that. I never played this version of it yet, but played in the arcade, you know, played on the Genesis back in the day, so pretty cool right there. And then I always enjoyed this series. It's the Army Men series, Army Men Operation Green. Again, don't know a whole lot about this one, but I have played the other Army Men games, so I decided to hold on to that one. And then Backyard Hockey, huge hockey fan, so that's obviously going to stay in the collection. I like the Backyard Hockey series. It's kind of cutesy, sort of fun hockey thing, nothing to be taken too seriously. Next one here is Batman Begins. Pretty cool right there. And then Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Wrath of the Dark Cool King. I don't know a whole lot about Buffy stuff, never really got into it, but that one's in there as well. The next one here is Crash Bandicoot, The Huge Adventure. I'm trying to make sure I get these names right. The writing on them is really small, you know what it's like with the GBA games, so pretty cool right there. And then Crash and Spyro Super Pack. So I always like to pick up these like multi-pack kind of things. Getting into some more classic kind of stuff, Donkey Kong Country 3. And then I also have Contra Advance The Alien Wars EX. Crash Nitro Kart. And a few Castlevania games. This is Castlevania Area of Sorrow. And then Castlevania Circle of the Moon. And then Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. So that's pretty cool right there. Always like to pick up those. This is the one that I just got recently in my most recent trades video, and that's Doom. And really the inspiration for making this video, just because I got that game and I was like, you know, I haven't cataloged my GBA stuff yet, so that's really the reason why I'm doing this. Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. This is Dragon Ball Z The Legacy of Goku 1 and 2. And then Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors, which I believe might be on one of those like multi-cart things I got. Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu. Those are the Dragon Ball ones. This is pretty cool right here. Final Fight 1. And then Golden Sun The Lost Ark. So I never played this is the second one in the Golden Sun on the GBA. Haven't played this one yet, but really enjoyed the first one, so hopefully that one's a good one too. Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town. And then Harvest Moon More Friends of Mineral Town. The Jackie Chan Adventures Legend of the Dark Hand. So pretty cool right there. And then Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. That's pretty cool. And then I love these ones. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. And then Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. And I've really tried to focus a lot of my collection for the GBA on like the first party kind of titles. So here we go. Legend of Spyro The Eternal Night. That's the loose copy of the box copy that I have right there. So I actually have two copies of it, one for play and one for display, I guess. And then The Lord of the Rings The Third Age. So pretty cool right there. Next one is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. Mario Kart Super Circuit. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And Mario Tennis Power Tour. Next on, again with some more classic sort of Nintendo kind of series stuff. Metroid Fusion. And Metroid Zero Mission. And Mega Man Battle Network Blue 3. Mega Man Battle Network 3 White. And then Mega Man Battle Network 5 Team Proto Man. I don't know how many of these came out. There must have been a ton if there's like that many numbered ones, but next one's Namco Museum. It's another classic kind of collection thing there. Pac-Man Pinball. Pac-Man Collection. Then Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. And I like the Pitfall games on the, classic cartridge type things. You know, the Super Nintendo or I believe it also came out on the Genesis. And I remember playing that back in the day and really enjoying it. And then on to some Pokemon games here. So Pokemon Fire Red version. Pokemon Leaf Green. And Pokemon Sapphire version. So pretty cool right there. Next one here is Power Rangers Ninja Storm, but this one here is a bootleg thing, so I don't know if I'll be holding on to that necessarily. Rebel Star Tactical Command, Sega Smash Pack, Sonic Advance and Sonic Pinball Party. This is Sonic. Oh, this is just Sonic Battle. I think there's another one of these here somewhere. Oh, maybe not. And Spyro Season of Ice. That's in that double pack, so I don't know if I'm gonna hold on to that. And then Spyro Season of Flame. And then there's that other copy of Spyro Super Pack. Only it's the loose copy of it. Star Wars Trilogy. And the last line of them here is Super Dodgeball, Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Advance 2, which has Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 3, which has Yoshi's Island, and Super Mario Advance 4, which has Super Mario 3. So weighted them, keep them out of order, but that's kind of the idea behind it. And then also the Super Mario Bros. Classic NES series, Tetris Worlds, TMNT, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Double Pack. Pretty cool right there. Wario Land 4. And then the last title here is WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. So that's my Game Boy Advance collection right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I try to keep my collection for Game Boy Advance sort of on, I consider them like first party titles or like major flagship kind of titles. There's a few things in there that aren't, but for the most part, I think like a lot of like the Mario kind of stuff or those types of games, really try to keep it focused on that because I don't really want to get everything in. I feel like on that system there is a lot of things that just sort of fall flat these days, but tried to keep the quality in there. Hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.